here behind us?
We've got just two of our cheetahs here. We've got Jake and Brooke, and Oscar must be, oh, he's on the top there, he's just on the mound.
We can just see him coming through there. So we got three brothers, they are related?
Yeah, that's right, yep, so they're brothers. It's only brothers that live together in the wild, and that's the same in captivity as well. So they have to be the same litter mates.
Yeah.
And then they'll stick together for life. As I said, that's what these guys are.
So they've got a strong bond here?
They do have a strong bond, yeah. Yeah, there's no real social like hierarchy so much. It's not like something like lions, you know, or something like that. But they all get on really well.
So what is it that makes them such a fast animal then? How are they built for that speed?
They're really lightweight. So they only weigh about 35 kilos, which, you know, that's about half the weight of say a full-grown leopard. Yet they're actually just about the same sort of size as a leopard. So they're really lightweight. They've got huge muscles on them as well. So that gives them that really great power to weight ratio.
Yeah.
Huge long legs, gives them a massive stride. I mean, their stride at running at top speed is like 7 meters. It's a huge stride.
And what is that top speed that they can?
And the top speed is 60 miles an hour. There's a lot of myth about them getting to 70. It's not.
So we heard it from you that 60
It's 60 miles an hour. I think the fastest ever recorded was at 62, and that was a captive cheetah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Now, I do think it's important to recognise it's wonderful to see them here at Wild Place. Now, out in the world, they're a vulnerable species. Slight pause in the proceedings for some dodgy iPhone footage, but it was such a privilege to see these Central African cheetahs, beautifully camouflaged here, that this was the only real chance I had to film the boys working as a unit. So you can see them heads turning together, they're picking up on the scent of the food that was being prepared, quite some distance away. But they're unbelievably powerful animals. There's a stillness, but it's mixed with this tension, and when those amber eyes are really staring you out, I kind of felt all the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. So I wanted to find out more about them at Wild Place and how they're surviving out in the wild.
The thing is that they're much smaller, much more delicate than your things like your lions, your hyenas, your leopards and stuff like that. And what cheetahs, the main threat that cheetahs have is that once they've made their kill, the lion will come in and just steal it. And these guys are so exhausted after doing all that running around that they just can't defend themselves. So most cheetahs, I think it's about 85% of the world's population of cheetahs, live outside of protected areas, so they don't live in national parks. And that's because there's lots of lions in national parks.
Of course.
So they live on other areas, and that's going to be farmland and stuff like that. And of course, if you're living on farmland, you're going to be coming into contact with livestock. And that's the main problem they have, is that conflict with us as humans and these guys. And they unfortunately do get shot a lot in the wild.
But there are conservation projects, there are things in place being done to
there is. Yeah, there's lots of great work happening in Africa, some great charities out there, some great companies that are doing a lot to sort of change the attitudes of farmers. They're providing really large like mountain dogs to guard their stock, so they scare cheetahs away, and that means they don't have to be shot. And of course, with things like captive breeding like we're doing here, you know, we can safeguard this species, so hopefully they will be here for the foreseeable future.
Because it does really put it into perspective. On some of the signs I see, we've got that 10,000 number, and you compare that to 90,000 capacity at Wembley Stadium. So that really puts it into perspective. But of course, they're pretty much an ambassador for the species here. People can come see them at such close proximity, can learn a little bit about them. Now I say see, obviously the public viewing area is on the other side, right around the back of the enclosure. Fantastic camouflage on these guys. So what do? Do you have set feeding times where they become more visible to the visitors?
Yeah, we feed them almost every day. They're not fed every day of the week, but 5 out of the 7 days a week they're fed, and that's at 2 o'clock. So you know, people can come along and see them then. We also run the lure as well, which is usually at a different time as well. So there's usually plenty of opportunities for people to see them.
So that's a little bit of enrichment for them, I suppose. They're displaying that natural behaviour.
Yeah, it runs at about 300 metres. It goes around the whole enclosure, and that is the best type of enrichment we can give them. We give them other things as well, things that you see with other animals, like boxes and you know, full of different bits and bobs. But running on a line, you know, running after something, a potential prey, you can't get better than that.
It must be quite special. Let you get off. 3 hungry boys behind us, and I'm going to hang around and see what they do.
Okay, brilliant.
Fantastic.
See you later.
So Will's going to go off. They got some nice tasty quail for a spot of lunch today, and they're off. You can see a bit of a treat today. So I'm going to stay and watch and see what they do, and hopefully they'll go for a bit of a snooze after it here in the sunshine at Bristol. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again.